What is up, Texans Nation? Can you feel the excitement in the air? While everyone expected us to make big moves at wide receiver this offseason, the front office chose to stand pat. And honestly, after what I've been seeing lately, I think they might be onto something huge. There is one rising star turning heads at practice and getting everyone hyped for a massive breakout year. You won't believe the impact this guy is ready to make. Before we dive into this breaking information, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Are you ready for this duo? The wide receiver room for the Texans has remained remarkably consistent this offseason, sparking plenty of conversation about the team's direction heading into the 2026 campaign. Despite Christian Kirk departing to join the San Francisco 49ers and the selection of rookie Louis Bodine in the 6th round of the draft, the core group remains largely untouched. The most significant development is the return of Tank Dell, who is back on the field for the first time since his 2024 leg injury. While the passing offense was statistically average last season, leading some to wonder if veteran additions were necessary, the organization is clearly prioritizing internal growth. This confidence in the current roster stems largely from the impressive trajectory of second-year wideout, Jaden Higgins. The buzz surrounding his development has intensified since the conclusion of OTAs and minicamp, signaling that the 23-year-old is preparing for a much larger role. It is truly Toro time for players like Higgins to step up and prove that this continuity is exactly what the offense needs to evolve. By standing pat, the Texans have signaled a deep trust in their developmental pipeline, specifically looking for Higgins to anchor the perimeter alongside Nico Collins. Fans watching the spring sessions have noted his physical progression and his ability to operate with fluidity. As training camp approaches, all eyes are locked on how this stability will translate to production on the field. The decision not to chase high-priced free agents suggests a commitment to the chemistry already established. With the pieces in place and the excitement growing, the expectation is that this group will unlock new potential, providing the consistent high-level performance that the team's front office and coaching staff clearly envisioned when they built this particular unit. The hype surrounding Jaden Higgins has been bolstered by reports from respected analysts like Albert Breer, who highlighted the receiver's performance during spring workouts. Breer noted that Higgins' emergence is essential to the Texans' offensive strategy, especially given that he was essentially the team's first-round selection last year after the front office traded out of the opening round. Standing at 6'4", Higgins shares a frame similar to the established star Nico Collins, but the two offer distinct skill sets that create a nightmare for defensive coordinators. One staffer described the duo as having a power forward in Collins and a small forward in Higgins. This physical profile allows the Texans to present a massive target range on the outside, creating mismatches across the field. Why does this matter right now for the team? It matters because the offense needs a reliable, dynamic tandem to elevate their efficiency above the average metrics recorded last season. If Higgins can maintain this momentum into the summer, he effectively acts as a major offensive acquisition without the team needing to look outside the building. This growth is critical for CJ Stroud as he looks to lead a more balanced and potent attack. By maintaining the status quo, the Texans are betting that this specific combination of size, speed, and emerging chemistry will solve the production issues that hampered the passing game in 2025. With Nico Collins providing the physical presence and Higgins offering a smoother, more athletic style of play, the team feels empowered to rely on their own young core. This strategy relies on the players taking a massive step forward, transforming the offense from average to dangerous through internal development rather than exterior roster movement. The statistical evidence from the latter half of the 2025 season provides a clear roadmap for why the organization is so high on Jaden Higgins heading into his second year. From week 9 through week 18, Higgins saw a significant increase in usage, averaging over 5 targets and 40 yards per game. During that high-impact stretch, he hauled in 4 touchdowns while remaining on the field for more than 61% of the offensive snaps. This represents a massive jump in responsibility compared to the first half of his rookie year, where he managed just 2.8 targets per week and less than 20 yards on average. These numbers demonstrate that the coaching staff was already beginning to integrate him into the primary game plan toward the end of the year. Now, with a full offseason to refine his routes and build rapport with CJ Stroud, the expectation is that these late-season trends will become his baseline in 2026. This is the exact kind of internal progress that successful teams count on to leapfrog their previous standings. The offensive unit now features a blend of established targets, such as tight end Dalton Schultz, and an emerging group of second-year players, including Jalen Noel. When you combine these pieces with the return of Tank Dell, the roster looks significantly more versatile than it did a year ago. The goal is clear: create a balanced attack that can match the output of a high-performing defense. Higgins is clearly the primary catalyst for this shift, as his expanded role allows the entire passing attack to become more unpredictable and harder to defend for opposing secondaries who are used to seeing a more limited set of options in the Texans' previous offensive iterations. While the pads have yet to come on for training camp, the early signs from the spring indicate that Jaden Higgins is fully capable of meeting the rising expectations placed upon him. His ability to perform as a high-level target is not just a positive for his own career trajectory, but an essential component for the entire team's success in a pivotal year for CJ Stroud. The transition from a rookie finding his footing to a starter demanding volume is one of the most difficult leaps to make in professional football. Yet Higgins has handled the workload with maturity. Analysts are keeping a close watch on his footwork and his ability to adjust to NFL-level defensive coverage, noting that he appears much more comfortable in the system. The physical comparison to Nico Collins is particularly interesting, as it gives the team two massive, high-ceiling receivers who can win jump balls and control the middle of the field. This consistency in the receiver room isn't just about avoiding change. It is about building a foundation that can be counted on over the long term. For the Texans, this approach allows them to allocate resources elsewhere while pinning their hopes on the continued ascent of their young, talented core. If Higgins can consistently replicate his late 2025 production, the offense will have the necessary punch to complement their stout defensive unit. This creates a more cohesive identity for the team, as they no longer have to rely on trial and error with new veteran additions. Everything is currently centered around the growth of the young core, and the success of this season will likely hinge on whether players like Higgins can turn this offseason hype into legitimate, game-changing production when the regular season arrives in just a few months. As we look toward the start of training camp, the focus remains squarely on how the team will integrate this improved offensive identity into their game plans. The Texans are standing firm in their belief that internal development is the most efficient path to success, and they are doubling down on the talent they already have on the roster. Jaden Higgins is not just a participant in this offense, he is becoming one of its primary engines. The confidence he has shown throughout the spring, combined with the clear role that has been carved out for him, suggests he is ready to shoulder a significant portion of the offensive burden. If he successfully continues his development, he will provide the reliable, explosive playmaking that was missing during parts of last season. The fact that the organization didn't feel the need to chase major upgrades at the receiver position in free agency speaks volumes about what they have witnessed behind closed doors. This is a calculated risk that relies entirely on the maturity and continued upward climb of young stars. As the summer progresses, fans should expect to hear more about the chemistry between CJ Stroud and his receivers, as this connection will define the ceiling of the 2026 offense. The stage is set for a breakout year for Higgins, and the entire team is positioned to benefit from his contributions. Make sure to hit that like button if you believe in this team's young core, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all the latest developments as we march toward the start of a very promising season for the Texans.